listen. The rain is speaking. The rain against the window sounds like words I can't quite hear. A language made of water that I've known for years and years. I'm sitting by the glass with tea that's gone from warm to cold, and watching how the droplets trace the stories never told. The street outside is empty, just the puddles catching light. The cars have all gone home and left the pavement soft and bright. I wonder if you're somewhere listening to this same song. The rain that falls between us even when we're both alone. Maybe rain is just a messenger that travels through the gray, connecting all the quiet hearts that have too much to say. The rain against the window is the sound between us now. It falls on different rooftops, but it whispers just as loud. I'm listening for your heartbeat in the rhythm that it makes. The rain against the window is the love that never breaks. I opened up the door to feel the summer on my skin, the smell of wet asphalt in all the places I have been. The thunder in the distance like a question left unasked. I close my eyes and wonder if the storm will ever pass. The garden that we planted is receiving every drop. The flowers bow their heavy heads, but they will never stop growing toward the sunlight that we know will come again. Just like I keep on growing through the softness of this rain. Maybe rain is just a teacher showing us to wait for everything that's coming. When we learn to sit with faith. The rain against the window is the sound between us now. It falls on different rooftops, but it whispers just as loud. I'm listening for your heartbeat in the rhythm that it makes. The rain against the window is the love that never breaks. Whispers barely audible, like thoughts. Maybe we're both listening to the same gray afternoon. Maybe rain is how we speak when words won't find the room. The rain against the window is the sound between us now. It falls on different rooftops, but it whispers just as loud. I'm holding every raindrop like a letter you once sent. The rain against the window knows exactly what you meant. Listen, the rain is speaking. Sound forest is breathing again. The forest after rainfall smells like earth and something old, a mixture of the living and the stories never told. I'm walking on the pathway where the moss has turned bright green, and everything is glistening like a half-remembered dream. The birds have started singing after hours of the storm, their voices soft and cautious like they're testing out the warm. I stop beside an oak tree just to feel its ancient bark and wonder if it remembers us walking here after dark. Maybe trees are witnesses to everything we've been. Maybe moss remembers all the places love has seen. The forest breathing after rain is teaching me to heal. The moss and memory remain, but neither one feels real. I'm walking through the greenness of a world washed clean and new. The forest breathing after rain still carries traces of you. But weathered and alone. The ferns around the edges have grown taller than before, and I'm not sure if I'm the same person anymore. A deer appears and watches me with eyes both soft and wise. It doesn't run, just holds my gaze beneath the clearing skies. I think about how nature just continues being here, while I'm still stuck in seasons from a long forgotten year. Maybe deer are messengers, the time will heal what breaks. Maybe forests offer all the time a heart can take. The forest breathing after rain is teaching me to heal. The moss and memory remain, but neither one feels real. I'm walking through the greenness of a world washed clean and new. The forest breathing after rain still carries traces of you. Maybe I'll grow like the moss does, slow and patient, covering stone. Maybe the forest will show me how to make this ache my own. The forest breathing after rain is teaching me it's time. The moss and memory remain, but I don't have to climb back to who we used to be in summers long ago. The forest breathing after rain is teaching me to let you go. Breathing, breathing, moss remains, let you go. Washed clean, washed new, humming blends with bird song. The forest is breathing again. 12 bars. birds and water drops alone for 4 bars. Fade to silence. Rain on roof, page turning. Music box enters like a memory. Whispered humming, barely audible. The pages are soft like clouds. The book I read in rain is one you gave me years ago. The page is soft with humidity and bending slow. I'm curled up by the window with a blanket and some tea, and every word I'm reading sounds a little bit like thee. The rain is drumming gently on the rooftop overhead, a rhythm that's hypnotic like the poems that I've read. I trace your handwriting inside the cover's faded note, and wonder if you knew back then the distance we devote. Maybe books are portals to the people that we've lost. Maybe reading in the rain helps us measure what it cost. The book I read in rain holds your voice between the lines. Pages soft with humidity, and words I've read 1,000 times. I'm lost inside this story where we never said goodbye. The book I read in rain keeps you gently alive. I fall asleep while reading with the book against my chest. The rain becomes a lullaby, inviting me to rest. I dream that you are sitting in the armchair over there, just reading your own book with that concentrated stare. When I wake, the rain has stopped. The sky is turning gray. The book has left an imprint on my skin where pages lay. I mark my place with care before I set it on the shelf, and whisper thank you to the ghost of your remembered self. Maybe dreams are kinder than the waking world can be. Maybe sleeping in the rain is where I'm finally free. The book I read in rain holds your voice between the lines. Pages soft with humidity, and words I've read 1,000 times. I'm lost inside this story where we never said goodbye. The book I read in rain keeps you gently alive. Whispers like reading aloud. Some loves don't need an ending, they just settle into words, living quiet on the pages, like the song of distant birds. The book I read in rain is where I go to find you still. Pages soft with humidity on this quiet windowsill. I'm grateful for this story, even though we said goodbye. The book I read the streets are mirrors now. The pavement turned to glass after the storm. Streetlight halo shaking every pool. I walk with empty hands and no real plan, just water slipping through the cracks below. The air is heavy, sweet with summer rain. It makes the whole world move a little slow. I keep on drifting where the branches lean, still checking every reflection for your ghost. Maybe rain can take it, break it down and wash it clean. Maybe wet reflections show a face I've never seen. Wet pavement reflections show me who I used to be, walking through the summer storm alone, but finally free. The rain is singing softly, a lullaby I know. Wet pavement reflections help me let you go. I pause beneath an awning, catching breath under rows like questions through the dark. A couple passes by with one shared coat, and I remember how I used to start. You flash inside the lightning, then you fade, a name the sky can't hold from breaking loose. I'm not the one I was when you were here, and maybe that's the truest thing to choose. Maybe pain is fading, even while it lingers near. Maybe I am changing while I'm standing in the clear. Wet pavement reflections show me who I used to be, walking through the summer storm alone, but finally free. The rain is singing softly, a lullaby I know. Wet pavement reflections help me let you go. Letting go looks gentle in the shine of after rain. Every drop keeps falling, and still the world remains. If I'm losing what we were, I'm finding what I am. In the puddles and the silver, I can meet myself again. Wet pavement reflections show me who I'm meant to be, walking through the summer storm. I'm learning how to see. The rain is my companion, a lullaby of now. Wet pavement reflections teach me to allow. Mirrors now, mirrors now, finally free. Let you go. Last raindrops, water from the eaves. Piano comes in like silence itself. Listen, it stopped. stops, the world holds its breath. Silence gets louder than the storm ever left. I'm by the window, watching nothing move at all, just water dripping slow from the trees and from the wall. The air smells like earth after everything is clean, a smell that pulls me back to places I have been. But I'm not going backward, I'm standing very still, just listening to silence on this quiet windowsill. Maybe silence after storms is where we finally hear everything we needed when the noise was in our ears. When the rain finally stops, the world begins again. The silence after storm is not an end, but when everything that's broken starts to slowly mend. When the rain finally stops, I'm ready to begin. A bird begins to sing somewhere I cannot see, a tentative first note that sounds a little like me. Trying out my voice after months of staying quiet, learning how to speak again after all the inner riot. The sun cuts through the clouds in just one golden beam. It lights up every drop like diamonds in a dream. And I'm not sad anymore, I'm just peacefully aware that storms don't last forever, and there's always clearer air. Maybe after every storm we get to start again. Maybe silence is the doorway to remembering when the rain finally stops, the world begins again. The silence after storm is not an end, but when everything that's broken starts to slowly mend. When the rain Thunder in the distance sounds like questions left unasked. I'm counting all the seconds in between the flashes past. The air is thick with waiting, heavy like a held-in breath. And I am sitting quietly with thoughts that feel like death. Not literal but figural, the death of who we were. When lightning lit the sky and showed me everything we'd blurred. The storm is coming closer, I can feel it in my bones. And I'm not scared of thunder, I'm just scared of being alone. Maybe storms are honest in a way that we were not. Maybe thunder teaches how to face what we forgot. Thunder in the distance gets a little closer still. I'm counting seconds between the lightning and the chill. The storm is my companion in this heavy summer air. Thunder in the distance says you're no longer there. I open all the windows even though the rain will come. I wanna feel the wildness of the weather overcome the stillness that's been sitting in these rooms for months and months. The kind of quiet that accumulates in dozen blunts. The curtains start to billow and the first drops hit the sill. I close my eyes and let the storm remind me that I'm real, that I'm not just a memory of someone I once knew, that I exist in present tense even without you. Maybe storms are teachers, showing us we can withstand. Maybe counting seconds helps us understand. Thunder in the distance gets a little closer still. I'm counting seconds between the lightning and the chill. The storm is my companion in this heavy summer air. Thunder in the distance says you're no longer there. Maybe I don't need to run from wildness. Maybe I can stand here in the wind. Maybe storms don't break us, they just show us where we've been. Thunder in the distance, now it's thunder overhead. I stopped counting seconds and I'm listening instead. The storm is not my enemy, it's clearing out the air. Thunder in the distance taught me how to not despair. 1, 2, 3, no longer there. Clearing out how to not despair. One, two, three, four. Rain on the walk, feet in the puddles, humming low. I forgot, of course I did. The umbrella I forgot to bring is hanging by my door, right where I left it this morning when I said I'd need it for sure. Here I am at 5 p.m. with with rain inside my shoes, walking home completely soaked and somehow not confused. Maybe rain is just a mirror of the mess I'm learning to be. Maybe walking home soaked is the first step to being free. The umbrella I forgot to bring is the least of what I've lost. Walking home soaked to the skin, but I'm not counting cost. The rain is kind of honest. In a way I'm trying to learn. Walking home without protection feels like my turn. The taxi slows beside me, asks if I would like a ride. I smile and say I'm fine, and watch him shrug and drive aside. I'm not trying to escape this baptism by the sky. I'm trying to remember what it feels like just to cry. Maybe walking in the rain is its own kind of prayer. Maybe being unprepared is how we learn to care. The umbrella I forgot to bring is the least of what I've lost. Walking home soaked to the skin, but I'm not counting cost. The rain is kind of honest. In a way I'm trying to learn. Walking home without protection feels like my turn. Maybe next time I'll remember, or maybe I'll forget again. Maybe being soaked is better than staying dry, but staying in. The umbrella I forgot to bring taught me something on this walk, that sometimes being vulnerable is better than the talk. The rain has been my teacher on this long way home tonight. Walking home without protection finally feels right. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Finally feels right. Feels right. Walking home, walking home. Rain and footsteps fade. The door is still open. There's a garden door we never thought to lock at night. The hinges rusted over in the soft October light. I walk through every morning with a watering can in hand, and wonder if you'd recognize the flowers that we planted. The ivy climbed the wooden fence and covered up your name. The bench we built together doesn't look quite the same. I sit there in the evenings when the sun is sinking low and listen to the silence of the things we'll never know. Like water through the cracks we didn't see, and I'm just a witness to what we used to be. The garden dancing quiet and real. I thought I'd see you coming back through flowers in full bloom, but all I see is empty space inside this sunlit room. I found a pair of gardening gloves buried in the shed, your handwriting on the label, every letter that you said. The seeds we never planted are still waiting in their packet. I hold them to the window like a long-forgotten locket. The neighbors asked me yesterday if I would sell the place. I smiled and told them no, but couldn't look them in the face, because leaving means admitting that you're never coming home. And I'm not ready yet to tend this garden all alone. Time moves like water, washing colors into gray, and I'm just a keeper of a slowly fading day. The garden door we never locked is standing open still. The shadows on the windowsill are dancing quiet and real. I thought I'd see you coming back through flowers in full bloom, but all I see is empty space inside this sunlit room. Maybe doors are meant to stay open, maybe gardens grow without us. Maybe I learn to like it someday. The garden door we never locked is where I wait for you. The shadows on the windowsill know everything that's true. I'll keep the flowers blooming here in case